Hello and welcome back to Fairly Unbalanced with Mike Tallon. It's been a while since I've done one of these things because I had some surgery on my mouth and that has shut me up for a little bit. But I'm feeling quite a bit better today, so I figured I would do a short video on something that just strikes me as being absolutely positively ridiculous. There is a manufactured panic around the country centered around Tucker Carlson and his wackadoodles um, about a Chinese spy balloon that is floating over the West somewhere. This is being marketed by the lunatics on the right as evidence that the Chinese are coming, or we're going to have a war, or that President Biden wants to sleep with Burisma. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Um, but there's this huge panic that we haven't shot down a balloon that's floating around. First observation, if we can see the balloon, it's not a very good spy balloon. The second thought is that the real panic on the right seems to be about how Joe Biden isn't taking care of this. And the only way that you can believe that is if you start from the axiom that Joe Biden is an addled asset of China, and that's just not the case. If you start there, then sure, absolutely anything that happens in the world can be turned into a moral panic about how he's betraying the country. But remember, that was the last guy. If you start from a more reasoned position, which is the commander in chief of the largest military force in the history of the known universe, takes his job very seriously, then whatever countermeasures we're taking against the Chinese intelligence services that have supposedly floated this thing over our airspace, uh, it's being handled. It's just being handled the way that you handle secret matters, secretly. It's not being broadcast out loud because that's not how you do counter-espionage. So anyway, if you wish to be really upset about Chinese balloons, please don't let me take this from you. It's a gift from heaven for you. Enjoy, convince yourself of whatever you need to convince yourself, but you're a silly, silly fool. If, on the other hand, you kind of figured that somebody floating some helium over the United States is not all that big a deal, then take a breath. Remember that the lunatics on the right are in fact lunatics on the right, and figure out this isn't so much of a big deal. Believe me, there will be something else to be upset about next week, probably gay M&Ms. But we'll get to that here on Fairly Unbalanced with Mike Tallon. And until then, love to you all, unless you're a fascist.